Okay.
Good afternoon, I'm Ryan Chapin, and this is Melanie White. And we're gonna tag team today on a quick presentation about Habitat for Humanity. We do have some other board members in the room. Carla, thank you. Marilyn, thank you for being here. Christy, why don't you guys just raise your hands? So again, there's a lot of great information in this room. I know Kathy has been very active in Habitat, and I know that there are some others as well. So I'm not up here trying to tell you guys everything about Habitat, but we do want to introduce you to some things that we've heard from the community and try and reintroduce some of the more important things that we can to move on. So appreciate it. So today we just want to go over a handful of things. Today we want to just talk a little bit about Habitat 101. Some of the fun things that have come out of where Habitat has come from is it was actually part of, in the 1960s, it was birthed from an idea of a group of people that came together and the concept was is how do we work together to build communities and partnerships. And so as Koinona Farms was birthed and was introduced, it actually spawned a whole new concept. So through faith, fellowship, and shared resources, a fund was created, a fund for humanity. Sounds a little bit like Habitat for Humanity, right? So, well, that's exactly where it came from. So a bunch of folks were getting together, working, building, helping each other build each other's houses, pooling resources, and doing all the work that they could to get everyone to come together. And each groups were building and helping each other build their own houses. So in 1976, though, the Habitat for Humanity was actually launched. And from that point, one of the most recognized volunteers was President Carter. And from one habitat to over 1,000 habitats today, we have an incredible opportunity to really start affecting change and continue to affect change. So, we wanted to really hit on why does your local habitat matter. And so there are three common things that we often hear. And we would love to go over those with you so that if you hear them, you can, at a minimum, say, well, I think I remember that guy over at Reach that said something about, maybe that's not right. So we'd love to just sort of step you through these three kind of misconceptions. Does Habitat give homes away? What is this restore thing, right? And how are families actually chosen? So I'm going to go ahead and let Mel start with the first one.
I'll switch spots with them. So a lot of people think Jimmy Carter actually started Habitat. So that's something that I just wanted to touch on, that Jimmy Carter did not start Habitat. So there's that little piece of information for you. But we do not actually give homes away. We fundraise and accept donations for the services of building, doing rehabs, and selling homes. We actually have, all the homeowners have their own mortgage. They are selected through a pretty lengthy process at a 0% interest. So that's kind of what makes it affordable is these people are getting homes with no interest. So you have a 30-year mortgage with So that literally takes thousands of dollars off of your loan. So we basically run off of the donations and in-kind donations that we get in, which goes back into the selling of the homes. And then again, they put in sweat equity hours. Sweat equity is known as basically their down payment. So they're helping build their own home. So they have to put in 400 hours of their home or somebody else's home. So that's a big part of the hard work of being a Habitat homeowner is, hey, I had to build my own home. What's the restore, right? So the restore is what we use to build homes. The restore, 100% of the profits from the restore do go back into affordable housing. We have very little overhead. All the dollars that are made they really do go back into the community, and I can say that 100% wholeheartedly. So we accept new appliances, furniture, any kind of donations. We have a strong community of donors that donate to us, whether it's an individual donor or a corporation. We get donations from Lowe's, Tractor Supply, Rust-Oleum, and then we resell it for a low price. It's usually 50% off the clearance price of whatever the store is selling it for. So it is a lower price. And then we also get donations from John Smith down the street. And we have a common middle ground to what we would sell that for. So and also like we sell things like if I wouldn't put it in my home, I wouldn't put it on the store for you to buy it. We try to do no haggle pricing, but I mean if it's been on the floor for 30 days or more, I mean obviously our goal is to make money to go back into affordable housing. So we will kind of lower the price a little bit, but we don't like people to come in and be like, I'll give you 50 if it's marked 75. It's like, come on, man. We have a mission here. Our mission is to keep people in safe, affordable housing. And a lot of people don't know a part of our program is that we have a home preservation program. So home preservation is for people who are aging in place. So if you own your home and you don't have to choose between medication or having your windows be able to keep heat in your home, or you need a wheelchair ramp and you have to put food in your home, or so it's people that own their own home but are kind of on that Alice income line, to where they're one emergency away from poverty. And we just try to make people be able to have a safe place to call home. And a lot of people don't know about that program, so tell a friend to tell a friend. So the Restore is a great source of revenue for affordable housing in the community. And a lot of people think that it's just profit, but we really aren't making a whole lot of profit off of the Restore. We do have things that we buy that we try to resell for a little bit of profit, but again, it does go back into the community.
That's all right. And one of the other, who's been to the Restore? If you haven't been to the Restore in the last 6 weeks, you have to go back, because they've done a ton of work. They've rearranged and they've cleaned and they've moved around, and they received a truckload of 24 refrigerators, and they're getting new furniture and things like that. So definitely go back and see it again. I think one of the other neat things about the Restore is, about the giving the 0%. And I go back to that real quick, because the 0% that Habitat uses for the mortgage, that isn't always 0% at other habitats. Some habitats have moved to a 1% or a 2% model. So I just want you all to know that Washington County has kept with the 0%. So we will as long as I know. So it's just a nuance, but there are other counties and other areas that have had to go to a different model. So. Now we're going to tag team this one because actually there are a tremendous number of requirements that homeowners need to go through. Mel talked a little bit about this sweat equity, and that's that concept of partnering with us to build their home or to build somebody else's home. When we start this process, we don't have a home. We start the process with an application. So people come to the table first, and we build the home for the people. So that's not something that most folks know. We really do try and create an environment, and we're hoping to do a really special build in the future for one of the members of our community. So that it's going to actually be for an autistic young man. So we're really hoping to get that on the books soon. But we just want everyone to know that throughout the process of applying to be a homeowner with Habitat, there's initial screening, there's a whole homeowner committee review. That review is based off of a whole scoring process. Things like, do they have over 600 in their credit score? Are they a Washington County resident for a year, at least a year? So there's a lot of things. Do they have the ability to pay? It has to be 80% of. So is there an ability to pay? There's so many details. It's great though, because again, this is all about this combination of there's a house, there's a family that has the ability to pay and ability to be able to stay in that house, because we don't want to have to take the house away, right? We need them to stay in that house because that is what we do, that is our goal. So, in the whole scheme of things, there's actually a handout we've got today, and we'd like to pass it out before you guys go. Or yeah, if you want to, yeah, perfect, that'd be awesome.
So I think something that Brian left out is a common misconception is people confuse us with like the housing authority or Section 8 or something along those lines. Habitat for Humanity is you're actually buying your own home. So people will come to us who are the unhoused population or they don't have a job and there's a certain qualification and as you see a pretty significant process that you have to go through to be chosen to have a Habitat house. So it's kind of like there's steps. So it's like if you are in housing, you have to have a stability of showing that you paid your rent in housing for a year. And then after you have done that, then maybe a Habitat house would be the next move. Or after you have been in, St. John's Shelter for a year and you have paid successfully and completed that, and then have moved up to housing, and then Habitat would be appropriate for you. But you are actually committing yourself to a 30-year mortgage. So it's different from the housing authority or Section 8 or something like that. The no interest loan could be as low as $800, but could also be as high as $1,200. And I say that to say you're getting a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for $1,200 a month, and that's lower than most mortgages, or about the same than for, you know, I rent and I pay $1,500 for a house. So anyway, that's not here nor there. But we do put out the public interest form first, just to see if you meet the initial qualifications. And then we go through each process or each section of it first. And then, so we go through it, we don't want anybody to feel that they have not been chosen because they are not worthy. Because my answer to them is, this may not be the home for you, but we can get you in a home eventually. Like, we can work toward that 600 credit score. We can work to get you there. Let's get you the resources to get you your own mortgage, to get you your own home. So it's never just a no. It's always, let's get you there. So I don't want people to leave feeling like they're not worthy of owning their own home, because everybody is worthy of having their own home, and an affordable one at that. So I just want to say that. So anyway.
So just to touch on a couple of final points. Habitat works because it brings several things together. Families who are ready, and I was hinting at this earlier. Families who are ready, volunteers that are serving the community, donors who are giving, and shoppers, you can all be shoppers who are buying from our restore. And of course, a community that believes in stable housing for everyone. So as we kind of wrap up this last slide, we wanted to also put together an idea of where some of the places HARC could be a starting point. And so we wanted to obviously start with prayer. So we're always trying to work towards good discernment, right? We always want to have the best intentions, as Mel was just saying so eloquently. So prayer, first and foremost, we would appreciate. And obviously, volunteers. So if you have a skill or you want to put yourself to work, please let us know. We're always looking for laborers, and I think right now not as much, but the Restore is always looking for help and volunteers. So if you know how to put together a grill, see Mel. We might have a few of those. And of course, trades. So if somebody has a little bit of experience with plumbing, those are big helpers. And honestly, we actually have a bunch of plumbing supplies at the Restore right now too that could use some organizing and things. So, specifically, we had heard that in the past, some of the churches had been really big donors of these baskets, themed baskets. So in the fall, we're having our special donation. Yeah, our donor. What is it?
Dinner auction.
Dinner auction. Thank you. Our dinner auction, and we're going to hand out one of those as well. So if anyone is interested in pooling resources, you guys could put together a themed basket, whether it's for a mom or for a spa day or for a car kit. I mean, we've seen all kinds of great different themes. And the fun thing is if the whole church comes together and builds a basket for us, it could be so easy, and especially if just a few things can mount up really quickly in a nice basket. We are also considering, and we'd love any thoughts or any ideas that you all have as well, to coordinate a day where we could take up an offering. In the past, it's been in May, but it's been a few years before we had a coordinated So if folks have some ideas, we can work on that for the next few months, and next year maybe we could have a day of offering for Habitat for Humanity. So we'd love to get some thoughts and some ideas from you all for that. And then finally, in 2027, we'd like to bring back the Apostles Build. And Carla, can you tell me how long it's been since? Has it been
Probably
10 years?
Yeah, probably.
So
Cindy would know more than anybody.
Cindy,
was
has it been
part of it. We did 3 of them. We did about
10 years ago?
I think the
So,
last one was 2011.
so we think that's too long. We think that's been too long, and we'd like to bring that back. And so in the past, I think we were told that in the past it was 12 churches for the 12 apostles, but we also know that sometimes churches need, a helping hand. So if we need to double up on that, and 2 churches can come together and be an apostle, or we just want to find a way to bring this back and to bring that community back into Habitat. So, and yes, sure.
Can you tell me what Apostles Build is?
We don't have it on the schedule yet.
No, but what is it?
Oh, what is it?
So it's basically a group of churches that come together on a day, on a week, and come together and pray, and we don't necessarily ask for money. You can skilled trades, just have a day of faith and love and building and teamwork, and show that the community, that the faith community can come together and build this house in love and under God or whoever you call God, and have a great day of faith and worship and love, and build a house for somebody that needs it. That's my understanding of the Apostle Build.
It's actually deeper than that. It's
Okay, so I worked for Habitat for Humanity for 4.5 years. And I was going to say that at the end, I should have introduced. Cindy and I and Reverend Roland Hobbs did the Apostles Build, 3 different ones. And it's churches or houses of worship that come together to be, say, the 12 apostles, but it's to actually build the house. So and it was groups, so it wasn't always 1/12 of the cost of a house is pretty expensive, so it might be 3 different houses of worship coming together as one apostle to, and some that are bigger did one, but it was actually raising the funds, coming up with all the volunteers to build, coming up with the trades, getting donations of any kind, building materials, and doing pretty much everything to build a house for a family in the community. And I just want to say that these were so awesome because we would move the meetings to the different participating houses of worship. Does this sound familiar? This is really what inspired me to join HARC, because I love seeing the houses of worship working together. So that's what this could be, depending.
And I think,
Terrific.
so you could distinguish a HARC day of prayer at any bill.
Absolutely.
But if it's an actual true Apostles bill, we are all sponsoring and participants as an apostle.
Terrific. Well, and I would love that concept, and that was kind of clarified for us. It didn't get conveyed as clearly, so thank you for the question. I really appreciate it. So thank you all for the time today, and we really appreciate it. So we just have if anybody has any specific questions, I've got Melanie's information up there, and she's got cards, she just said. So, but we wanted to finish up with any questions that you all might have, and any other questions you all might have. So,
Sorry, I have another one. So I'm just curious, if we wanted to get involved, I have no building experience, is that still possible to get involved? And what's that look like?
absolutely. So, so there's always work at the restore that you can do. There's always things that we need to price and to unpack and to put out. And And then during an actual build, we're finalizing one right now. And so we don't have anything on the books for 2026. But we do have home restorations. So, and again, I think it's, when I was younger and I went to New Jersey, I would help my uncle carry the lumber and move the hammer from one place to another, right? So I think just showing up and knowing that there's another set of hands there is an amazing opportunity. We have a brand new construction manager, and his name is Ted, and he's very, very inclusive. He just loves to have people around him, and he loves to help people help him. And so we're so blessed to have him at our facility now. So, great question. Yes.
At the time that we were doing it, the average cost was like 60 or 62,000. That was divided across the 12 apostles. What kind of baseline figure are we talking about now?
Well, we're supposed to be doing it for under 100, right?
We're supposed to be doing it, the goal is to do it for under 100,000.
Yeah. We haven't been able to do that in a while. So that is one of the reasons we've sort of pumped the brakes on 2026, because we really, really, really want to hone in and figure this out. So we're hoping the next one we can do for closer to 150. And so then we can, I know, that's why I guess I didn't say that all the apostles were responsible for it, because I didn't want to scare anybody off, because anything is better than nothing, especially from our faith community. So even if, and again, Melanie clarified, even if it doesn't mean that it can be money, gosh, just having people together and doing things together would be amazing. And honestly, some of the members of your church, they already are friends with the guy from 84 Lumber, right? Or their uncle owns, a lumber shop down in Pittsburgh or something like that. So there's a real opportunity once we put the word out to really try and connect to folks, whether it's a plumber or an electrician or somebody who does HVAC. You just never know. We had to finish some countertops in this last build that we had, and we didn't have to pay for any of it. So we were blessed. So, and again, we were prepared to pay. We were prepared to pay the $150,000, but we haven't had to. So, and that's what we're going after. So.
And my goal is, I know that money is a big factor. It takes money to build a house. And I know it probably sounds ridiculous and far-fetched, but I'm a crier. I told Patty I'm a crier, but you bring people, you bring the community together, you bring not just the faith community, but the whole community together and help people bring a house. And the meaning behind it is so much more than the money. And the money will come if we just bring the people together. And that's my goal. That's always been my goal with Habitat, was to get people together to build houses. And the money will come. So that's why I say if you can get skilled trades, if you can get people, if you can get the supplies donated, the money will come. And that's my goal. Sorry. Carl has her hand
Yes.
up.
So, Mel, I really appreciate that thought and that belief that it's kind of like build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Fill the streets.
Yes.
I'm actually with you on that. But I'm wondering if you've ever considered instead of like an apostles bill, like an interfaith bill, open it up to as many houses of worship that want to participate, not just the Christian denominations, but anybody.
I believe interfaith build was a term that we've heard as well. So
are the houses that you have built in the same neighborhood or?
So
what's that?
currently they are. We were blessed with the opportunity to piggyback onto some county building that was going on, and we were able to buy like 12 lots for $1 each. And so the blessings just keep coming, right? And we have just been given an offer to buy more at a significantly reduced price. So again, right? It's just such an amazing blessing. To some of this is just falling into our laps because we're here and we're putting ourselves out there and we're trying to let folks know that this is what we want to do. Now, it did have some stipulations. We had to build things in a certain time frame, and we actually we were short, but we went back to the county and requested an extension, and they gave it to us immediately because they saw us working towards it. So.
I just wanted to, something Cindy said. I don't want anybody to think that the Apostle Bill has to raise all the money anymore. You know, it was more back when Cindy was involved and Kathy were involved, it was under, you know, it was like 75,000 or whatever, I can't remember for sure. But now it's not feasible. It's not feasible to expect churches to be able to raise what it costs to build an entire house. There's other avenues that we can add into that. Mel is a fantastic grant writer. And they're the restore. So there's other avenues too that we can add into that. We would really love to see the Apostles Bill be more about coming together, bringing the churches together, getting more involved with Habitat like it used to be. And of course, money is always wonderful too, don't get me wrong. But I don't think any of us expect the Apostles Bill to be able to do it all on their own.
And I love the interfaith build idea. That happened in the past.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Just a question about tiny homes. Has there been any thought about that?
Yeah, so there was a moment where
Come on, Val.
So there was a moment when we had almost come across an opportunity to be gifted a lot of tiny homes, but unfortunately they ended up selling them or auctioning them. The ones next to a warehouse. So the thought has crossed our mind, and we have been working on it. But right now, we have a goal for 2027. We have 10 lots that we're trying to build on. But so we're working on it.
Thanks.
we do have a requirement for single-family homes.
For the
and then-
specific shelter. For the specific land that we're working on as a
Yeah.
requirement.
There is a requirement. Now, we did move towards a duplex. So we just got approval to build duplexes in a certain area. The lots are a little bit larger. So we went back again to the county, and the county, without really any hesitation, approved. Now, there is going to be some work because there's only one electrical line and one water line going with the lots, but we can figure that out.
What about rehabs?
Yes.
You guys have started doing rehabs just as I was leaving Habitat.
We do, we actually have done 5 rehabs.
Oh, that's
Home preservation, I'm sorry. But yes, we can do rehabs, and we have done rehabs.
So I've been there, 4 years now, I think, and we talk about rehabs, and we have had some bumpy times over there in Habitat, but We now have a pretty consistent construction manager, so I'm hoping to see where this goes. I have a lot of faith that we will move forward with some rehabs, but the construction managers that we had in the past weren't very big on rehabs. They didn't want to do them without necessarily.
No, and so again, it's a different thought process. And so, you know, fixing something that you don't know what the problems are going to be is harder than starting from scratch. So, but I believe we have 3 restoration projects that are being considered. I don't think that there's, or at least 2 for sure, that are being considered. Any other questions? Well, thank you all so much for having us. I really do appreciate it, and we hope that that was at least partially